This video review is brought to you by BigBadToyStore.com. BigBadToyStore.com, your #1 source for toys.
What's going on, guys? Today we are taking a look at Transformers Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Slug, otherwise known as Snarl for your G1 fans. He is a purple Triceratops-ish-esque alt mode. And the reason I say ish-esque is because no Triceratops on record has lower mandible horns, nor do they have what would be considered a Styracosaurus-type crest here above the head. This is definitely more along the lines of a Styracosaurus than a Triceratops. But then again, there is much scientific debate on whether a Triceratops is actually its own breed of dinosaur. That's another podcast or video review. But here, we're taking a look at Slug. Now, Slug is a very interesting, just cool little toy. And I mean little. This dino mode is really kind of tiny. It's not big at all. In fact, here's Rage Fist Scamper standing behind the figure. As you can see, Scamper comes up to, or the Triceratops crest comes up to the head of Scamper. That's just a little weird in my opinion. I think a deluxe class figure should be a little bigger. That's just me, though. He comes with these two swords, which are supposed to be stored in the side, sticking out. I think that's ridiculous, so I like to remove them and put them off to the side. He doesn't really do much in this mode. His mouth does open, and he is a carnivore, as you can see, which is weird. But overall, it's not a bad little Triceratops mode. And like I said, it is little. When I first got a hold of Slug, I thought he was going to transform very much like Cheetor does, where you just straighten out the back legs and then fiddle with the torso. And that's close, but not exactly right. So to start, lift up the tail on the back and then fold the tail along the back spines, and then you can reach behind the legs and flip out what are going to be the feet. So flip them out all the way, and then straighten out the legs by folding them back towards the paws in dino mode. Let's do that for both legs, and kind of straighten out the feet. Then take the middle section here of the purple middle section and unpeg that and swing those sections straight down underneath the head. And then we can kind of grab the horns on the head and split the head open like this, and they will swing out away from the center of the dino mode. When we do that, we want to take the dino legs and put them up over the crests. So then we just butterfly them open like that. And once we've got them butterflied open, we can fold out the fists and then collapse the dino chest bits to form forearms. Then reach behind the figure once the arms are folded all the way out and snap into place. The dino front legs, the back of them, will actually peg into peg holes right inside the figure's torso. And sometimes that is easier said than done. You just kind of have to fiddle with it and get the angle just right until they peg in. And then come up to the crests here and fold them in. And put the heads down, and there we go. Once you get Slug all good to go, he is actually a really nifty looking robot mode. I love this robot mode, I really do. I think it's just a really unique and interesting bot mode that's just fun. Unfortunately, when trying to pose the figure, things kind of get a little bit weird. You end up popping things out of place and the heads get in the way. It's not the best figure to pose in robot mode, but he definitely looks cool in robot mode. Now, I do wish that they had some harder plastic for the horns, but I understand why they don't, and the swords themselves, very floppy plastic. Again, I understand why they do that. I just wish they didn't. It's just a personal preference of mine, but overall, he looks like a really, really cool figure in robot mode. I am a huge fan of his head sculpt as well. Again, unfortunately, he doesn't have any light piping like most of the other Dinobots, but it's just a really nifty head sculpt, and it really reminds me of some medieval battle armor, or medieval helmet, or something out of Dark Souls, in all honesty. Just a very, very nice, simple, but awesome head sculpt. Overall, Slug is a really neat Dinobot. I think he's a really interesting evolution of Slag and the idea of a Triceratops. He's got a few minor issues, though, and that's the fact that he just doesn't have the best knees in the world. Because even though he's got posability, the knees are up in the thighs, and they are slightly loose on my figure along with the hips. But really, all you're going to be doing is kind of posing him in an attacking pose, which he can pull off with no problem. And his transformation is a bit fiddly, but once you do get it down, you're okay. The Dino mode, though, it's a little small for my taste, and I would like to have seen a slightly bigger figure, but that's not a real knock against the toy. So far, all of the Dinobots that I've gotten a hold of are a lot of fun, except for Leader Class Grimlock. Voyager Grimlock and this guy and Scorn are a lot of fun and definitely worth having in your collection. So guys, as usual, I'm baltmatrix, and I'll catch you next time.